Okay, what we're going to look at today is the course structure for Advanced Higher Graphics. To help you with this, I've put the course specification into your Pupil Resources folder. That's the folder that I gave you all access to earlier on this week, or it could have been last week, but the Advanced Higher Course specification is what you're looking for, and within that you're looking at page 9 to 11, I believe it is, and they will give you all of the contents of the course. Now briefly, the course is split into two parts of it. There's what is called Technical Graphics, and we also have what's called CVMG, which stands for Commercial and Visual Media Graphics. And these are the two main strands that the course works on. In the exam you'll be questioned on both of these strands, and you'll also, as part of your assignment at the end of the year, be expected to include parts of these. Now, when we're looking at technical graphics, we've got two strands that come from that. We've got one which is called the built environment, and we've got one called manufacture and engineering. Both of these also have strands which come off of them. If we start with the built environment, that's the simplest out of all of them. And in here we're looking at things called building plans. Now remember, we're always thinking about what graphic items. Think about all the graphic items we've done up until now. Things like leaflets, posters, orthographic drawings, sketches, rendered images, hand sketches, perspective sketches. All of those things are what are known as graphic items. So when we're looking at building plans, the main ones we're focusing on are floor, site and location. And in each of these we're thinking about what information do they give. When we come to manufacture and engineering, it becomes an awful lot bigger. We've got things like orthographics, assemblies. We might also have renders. We could have exploded. But we've also got some new additional things. We've got a big part of it which is called simulation. And in that simulation we're talking about how do we test the products which are going to be manufactured and engineered, and how do we make sure that they're going to do what we want them to do. So within simulation we've got two different strands. One is called FEA, which stands for Finite Element Analysis, and we've got CFD, which stands for Computational Flow Dynamics. Now for all of these things there are notes and resources contained within the Pupil Resource folder. Everything you need to know about these is contained somewhere within one of those documents. So if any of these things you're looking at and wondering what does it mean, we will cover it in time, but there are lots and lots of notes in there which will explain to you what they are. If we move across now to Commercial and Visual Media Graphics, This is very similar to what we've done before. This has got a few strands on it. The most simple one is when we're talking about principles and elements. And just as you did it higher, there'll be lots of stuff which you'll be expected to know about: proximity, contrast, repetition, alignment, all of those things that you've known about before. You'll be expected to know about them in a bit more detail. What else will we need to know about? Well, the printed part of it. And higher we just looked at things like CMYK and RGB, and perhaps trim marks, perhaps registration marks, but that was about it. When it comes to advanced higher, we'll be expecting you to know an awful lot more about how things are actually printed. So we'll be looking at things like offset lithography, screen printing, flexography, and solid ink processes. All the different types of processes. And once again, there are lots of notes which cover all of that. So what else do we do in CVMG? A big part of it will be our digital. This is all paper based, so things we get out the printer, which is what we kind of focused on in the past, but there is a big digital graphics part of what we do, and that is things like animation. And within animation we've got things called stop frame, and we've got other ones too. Once again, you'll be expected to know where we would use animation within our graphics. What else do we have? There's a little bit of web design, and within that web design we'll be looking at things like how do we get videos in there, do we embed them, do we link them, what resolution do we put images into. So lots of different things to think about. This is a very, very quick breakdown of what the course involves, and what I'm going to do tomorrow is give you a little task just to look at one part of this. And the one part I'm going to get you to look at is up here, just to get it started, to see how much you can come up with on your own initiative. I'll just bring that down a wee bit so you can see it. Computational flow dynamics. And the reason I'm getting you to do that is because on the news, with all the things that have been on with COVID-19, computational flow dynamics was actually used quite a lot, and you could see it on things like the BBC website and also on news features. They used it to illustrate how the virus spreads, which is what computational flow dynamics allows us to do. So keep your eye on the stream and keep your eye on the classwork that's coming out, and I'll explain to you what your task is going to be.